we had seen about VPC. In this lecture, we will see about security groups and network access control list. Now, network access control list is an important part of VPC. You wouldn't have seen it in the last slide, so I want to explain to you in detail in this slide along with security groups. First, let's look at security group. So, what's a security group? A security group can be seen as an instance firewall. So, in front of the EC2 instances, we have a firewall. In front of RDS instances, we have a firewall. And this firewall is called as a security group in AWS. By default, all the ports are closed, and then you have to explicitly allow traffic to flow on a particular port. You have both inbound and outbound rules, and depending on what you want to allow in and what you want to allow out, you can accordingly open up the ports of a security group. Now, we come to the network access control list. Now, network access control list are firewalls at the subnet level. This is very different from the firewall at the instance level, which is security group. Now, when it is a firewall at the subnet level, it has a certain different properties compared to the security groups. One of them is that the NACL, that's a firewall at the subnet level, this allows for what is known as an explicit denial. Now, in case of a security group, you can only explicitly allow something, but you can't deny something. Now, this becomes important if you want to block, let us say, a set of IP addresses from accessing your HTTP server, because you find that this is probably some fraudulent traffic, somebody trying to attack you, that set of IP addresses. So, when I want to deny, say, a small segment of IP addresses, then I have to do it using NACL. I can't do it using security group because I don't have an explicit deny option there. So, these sort of questions do come in the exam, that if I want to deny a set of IP addresses because I'm seeing large amount of traffic coming from there, but I don't have customers in that area, what would I do? Then ensure that you choose NACL and don't choose security group, because security groups cannot explicitly deny traffic from entering your instance. The NACL is known as stateless, whereas the security group is stateful. That means that security group understand what is a request and what is a response. So, if you send out a request, the response is allowed in even if you do not open that particular response port, because security group knows that this is a response and it allows the response in. Whereas in the case of an NACL, you must ensure that you open up all the ports both for incoming traffic and outgoing traffic. It does not understand what is a request, it does not understand what is a response. As far as it's concerned, it's just traffic, and it looks at and sees if your traffic is allowed or not. It doesn't care whether it's a request, it's a response, or anything of that sort. So, that's why it is called as a stateless protocol here. Now, NACL is basically a set of rules written, and each of the rules has a number. So, there is a processing formula that NACL follows. The way it does is that it starts with the lowest number rule and proceeds to the highest number rules. This is an ascending order, it will evaluate the rules. And at any point in time, if the condition currently matches the rule, then it will stop all processing. For example, there is a traffic coming on SSH, and from, let us say, an IP like 192.168.2.34, then it will look into the rules. At a particular point, if it says that 192.168.2.0/24 allow all traffic, then this traffic will be allowed. Or if it sees that there is a deny rule there, it will deny the traffic. Now this is very important for us, because the way in which you write the rules, you need to be very careful so that you don't have this problem, because when a first rule that's encountered that matches the condition, then the processing stop. It will not go to the next rule. For more details, you can look into the course that we have. There we are given more details on this as well. This is a comparison between the security groups and NACLs. Now, security group is instance level security, but NACL is a subnet level security, and security group is stateful, NACL is stateless. In security groups, all rules get evaluated, whereas in NACL, evaluates from the smallest rule number, and when the condition is matched, the evaluation is stopped. And in security group is permissive, that means it is having only allow rules, whereas NACL has both allow and deny rules. In case of a security group, you can attach more than one group to an instance. So you can have, let's say, 10 security groups attached to an instance. That's very much possible. Whereas in the case of NACL, you have only one NACL per subnet. Both of them do not cost you anything in AWS. Keep that in mind. So that is about the security groups and NACL. And also understand that both the security groups and NACL work at the IP address level. So if there is a question which says that I want to whitelist the, let's say, website, how do I do that? Or I want to allow traffic to go to a particular website, address like www.google.com. Now, those cannot be addressed by security groups or NACL, because they work at layer 4, or they work at the IP address level. So all these are dependent on IP addresses. So if there is a question which says about whitelisting or blocking websites, that's at a layer 7 level, then there would be an answer which will talk about using proxy servers, and that would probably be your answer. So keep this in mind. If it's IP address, then we're talking about security group and NACL. If you're talking about anything where you want to block or allow traffic for a website, then we are talking about a proxy, an internet proxy to be used. So that's the thing. And similarly, the same proxy will come when you have an ad gateway situation. You can also have a proxy situation. I think I explained this in the VPC video earlier. So that gives you an idea of NACL and security groups. Here are my contact numbers where you can look at our courses. You can follow me on Twitter or Facebook, and you can send us mail at enquiry@cloudsiksha.com. So thank you very much for listening in. Hope you found this useful.